So let's talk about the meat. This is chuleta de res. It's a really very thin steak with the bones. I live in California, so there's a lot of carnicerias in here, around here. It's a Spanish grocery store. Amazing cuts of meat, but you don't have to use this. You can use anything you want, any steak you find at the grocery store. I have let it sit in a mixture of Corona, orange juice, and lime juice. Now what that does is that acid mixed with the beer, it tenderizes the meat. So when you bite into the taco, it cuts straight through it and you're not pulling pieces of meat out with it. And we're just going to season this with a little bit of salt. Now I've already seasoned it a little bit in the Corona and the citrus juice mixture, so I don't want to over season it. Black pepper. Now do not be shy about the black pepper. Beef loves black pepper. They complement each other so well. So get a nice amount of black pepper in there. Trust me, you'll love it. Now, no taco is complete without the heat. A little bit of chili. Add as much as you want, add as little as you want, or leave it out entirely. Entirely up to you. Now this is my spice setup, something I keep in my spice rack. It's just a mixture of onion powder, celery seeds, cayenne pepper, parsley, basil, marjoram, bay leaves, oregano, coriander seeds, mustard seeds, and zest of lime. Let it dry, put it in the spice blender. You got a nice setup. And we're just gonna finish it off with a little bit of EVOV. Now this olive oil, I made this myself. This is chili and garlic infused olive oil. Really nice on top of salads. I'll show you guys how to make that. I'm running a little low, so it's not just as simple as putting chili and garlic into a bottle of oil. So like I said, I'll make a video for that. So now let it sit for about an hour. That is into the oven, 500 degrees for about 4 to 5 minutes, depending on how well you like your steak or how rare you like your steak. Now while the steak is cooking, take this opportunity to get your ingredients ready for the salsa. Right, down the side, twice. This will make sure you have a nice square chunks for your salsa. Chilies. Now, for the ones that don't want it spicy, bottom off, top off, and just roll it. Do a little tap. And all the seeds just fall out. Then quarter it. Lines. Now just roll it center to the right and just cut it. Flip it around, cut in this part, and you're just left with this. Now this is that bitter stuff. This is what makes lime juice bitter. You don't need that. Throw it away. Now I like cilantro, so I'm gonna put a lot of it. Season to taste. Lime juice, salt, chili flakes for more heat. Secret ingredient, pepper. Now give it a good mix. Now here's a little tip to take your salsa to the next level. Half the salsa in, blend. Mix. Now this just intensifies the flavor of your salsa. Cabbage, cut thin. Cilantro. Olive oil. Salt. So just pulled my meat out. It's I cooked it for just about 3.5-4 minutes. I like my meat a little on the medium rare side. But if you're not comfortable with that, cook it a couple minutes. Cook it for 5 minutes, 5-6 minutes. Should not be more than that. And done. So while your meat is resting, anytime you pull meat out of the oven, let it rest. That way it'll be juicier. While it's doing that, get your tortillas ready. Corn tortillas over the fire, minute and a half on each side. Now turn it every few seconds. That way you make sure you get an even cook on every side. And when it starts to go black around the edges and gets a little crispy, this one has maybe a couple more seconds. Off with the heat. Now, here's a little bit of a chef's tip. Take your tortilla, wrap it around a rolling pin, and just hold it there for about 20-30 seconds. That will set the shape of the tortilla. And you're left with this. Just slide it off, and bingo. You're left with a curved tortilla. Looks nicer, easier. Right, plating. Now, you don't want to get too fancy with this. After all, they're just tacos. So, take your meat and just, you know, just rip it up by hand and just lay it on the bottom. Like so. Now, you don't want too much of this because you just want this to create a crunch. You know, we're not using lettuce, so this is, you know, this is my twist on it. We're using, you know, cabbage slaw with a little cilantro. So you don't want a lot, just enough to give it a little crunch. Salsa, just dollop it over. And for those of you who saw my last knife sharpening video, this is what I was talking about. You take these beautiful jalapenos, sliced thin, with your nice sharp knife. Check that video out. And just lay it on top. And there you have it. Spicy beef tacos with cabbage slaw.